Hello, good morning, and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation. This is your match day news. But you know what? Not just any match day news. This is a Rangers Thursday night. This is the Europa League. And even bigger than that, Storm Jose is rolling into town for the game tonight. We're going to talk all things Rangers, Fenerbahce, all things Europa League on what is, round of 16, quarterfinals beckoning. Hopefully, this is our last year in the Europa League. Hopefully, next year it's the Champions League for us with our new owners. Let's hope that is the case. Like, as much as I love a Rangers Thursday night, I've got to say I'm hopefully looking forward to playing in the bigger competition next season. We've also got some Old Firm ticket news as well. We're going to talk a little bit of that. We're going to talk a little bit about the whole situation with tickets and what has been said by Celtic as regards Rangers showing up for that tie and when they've got to show up and rules over that. I've also got a bit of a question as well for the end of the pod, so hang on for that. Well, it's Thursday night. It's a Europa League night, and hopefully Ibrox will be absolutely rocking as Rangers seek to defend their 3-1 lead from the first leg. Hard-fought 3-1 win out in Istanbul. No one. I don't think even the most optimistic of Rangers fans expected us to come back with a 3-1 lead from Istanbul. Maybe a draw, maybe a squeak 1-0 or something like that, but certainly not a 3-1. And as I've said on numerous videos now, it puts you in a very difficult position, knowing what to do. But I think that, listening to Barry talk in his presser yesterday, I think it's Rangers are going to go toe to toe and go for it and go head to head. I don't think they'll go defensive. I don't think they can do that. We've certainly got Jose Mourinho's view coming up. Interesting as always, guys. So the ties that take place tonight, there's 4 ties kicking off at 5:45, and we'll find out Rangers opponents by 7:45. We've also got 4 games kicking off at 8 o'clock, just as I finish work. Great. I have to listen to the first half in the car and then watch the second half. Right, so what have we got? What have we got here? We've got, obviously, Olympiacos Bodo Glimt. It's a 3-0 home victory for Bodo Glimt. They go to Piraeus. I can't see Olympiacos, even though Piraeus has that atmosphere, has that, that cauldron type atmosphere. I still can't see them turning round a 3-0 down. Not when you've got a very wily manager like Kjetil Knutsen bringing his Bodo side there. I mean, Bodo are just phenomenal. I mean, getting to the quarters of the Europa League is just a brilliant, brilliant concern. These teams will be our opponents in the next round. It's either a trip to the Eternal City to take on AS Roma or a trip to the Basque Country to take on Athletic Club of Bilbao. Look, even though they're 2-1 down, you've got to say that the young, hungry Basques from Athletic Club have got to be the favourites to overcome that and turn that tie around. And what an exciting game that would be for Rangers to go to the Basque Country to play and then obviously bring Athletic Club back to Ibrox. Massive tie, huge tie, difficult tie. You've got to fancy Lazio to go through against the Czechs. They're 2-1 up going to the Stadio Olimpico. And Eintracht Frankfurt versus Ajax. I've got to say, I didn't expect Frankfurt to lead. I expected Ajax to win this game. But look, what do I know? I'm sure some of you will say absolutely fuck all. What price? A Frankfurt Rangers rematch in the final. Hey, get the revenge. Lyon FCSB, you've got fancy Lyon to go through there. Tottenham 1-0 down from the first leg, take on Alkmaar. Look, again, you've got to think Spurs should win at home, should get through Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Under the lights, you've got to think that maybe it's their tie to take. But then again, you never know. It will be the Spursy thing to do to keep it close and then to lose at home. Rangers Fenerbahce tie, which we'll discuss. And of course, Man United 1, Sociedad 1 from the first leg in San Sebastian. What price? Manchester United winning that game. You know what? I don't think it's guaranteed. Sociedad are a decent side. Really are a decent side. But Man United, who knows with them this season? Just shocking in the Premier League and lose a lot at Old Trafford. So there's no guarantee for me that Man United progress. Right, look, let's have a look. So tonight's tie, we're 3-1 up. we've just got to go for it. I think we will. Barry talking in his presser yesterday was talking very much like that, wasn't he? That, the Rangers will go head to head, toe to toe, match up to Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce, have a go at them, go after them, try and beat them on the night at Ibrox. And that's got to be the way to go. We can't park the bus. I think if you invite the team Fenerbahce onto you, you're just asking for trouble. You really genuinely are. Now, one man I know we're all looking forward to seeing in Govan tonight is this man here, Jose Mourinho, the man who kind of brings a circus with him. One of the most, no matter what you think of him, no matter whether you loathe him or you love him, he certainly brings a circus with him. He certainly brings entertainment with him wherever he goes, doesn't he? And he's been talking to the media pre-game, and it's interesting. It's always interesting when Jose speaks, and you go back and anything you watch by Mourinho is pure theatre. It really is. He says, to be honest, he says, I have one little doubt. He says, I don't know if Ibrox, as a very iconic British stadium like many in Scotland and England, I don't know if they will accept a very defensive performance like they had in Fenerbahce. It was successful for them, but a very defensive performance. I don't know if they're going to accept it. So apparently we played ultra defensively, yet we still won 3-1, Jose. There'll be a mind games there, possibly trying to make Rangers come out and play. I think that's a little bit of mind games. I think that's trying to get inside the players and Barry's head to try to make them go all out and leave gaps. I think that's the aim with that one. It's a little bit of a little bit of mind games there from Mr. Mourinho. And look, I suppose he's right to some degree, though, from the fact that I don't think the fans would accept the park the bus type of performance. That's not who we are as a football club. We're not a park the bus, stick 10 men behind the ball. We're not going to play like St Johnstone and play like Ross County and play like Dundee and Dundee United and stick 10 men behind the ball and try and brock and spoil and, put the low block in like we face virtually every other week in Scotland. He says, are we prepared for both? For Rangers to try and play the same way, the low block, waiting for our mistake and counter-attack with Tierney and Diomande, or Ferguson decides to play in a different way? They have a go at us. They try to start very strong and score. So, he's expecting either of two approaches, either a low block or he's expecting us to go for them. He says, I don't know if we have to be patient in case we dominate the game against a defensive team. I don't know if we have to be strong defensively to cope with the first impact of a football team that wants to kill the game. I don't know. Only tomorrow can tell us. We know what we want to do in both occasions. It would work both ways. We are ready for anything and hopefully we can perform. I think he's kind of summarizing, though, to some degree what I've been saying all week. You don't know what we're going to do, and it's a difficult one to know what to do, whether to go for it or whether to, sit back or whether to do something in between. I think something in between dangerous because that's when you kind of do get beat because you're not doing either. He said, hopefully we can fight until the end, which is the only thing I demand from my players. I don't demand we come here and win 4-0. I demand that we come here and have a go. 3-1 down to enter the Ibrox cauldron. It remains to be seen how we will show up. Look, it's going to be a tough tie, and Mourinho is clearly, trying to play a bit of mind games there, trying to kind of push it a little bit with the media and also with Barry Ferguson to try and encourage him to come out and attack them. And I think to some degree we will. I don't see us playing with a low block. I don't see us, trying to play like Livingston or St Johnstone do against us. I don't believe that is the Rangers way. And I don't sort of recognise the kind of description of Rangers from the first leg that Mourinho gives us. We're not, I don't think, a negative low block kind of team. And I think, we did play a bit more football than perhaps he gives us credit for in that first leg. But like I said, I think a lot of it is the mind game side of it. He does like to do that. He does like to try and wind the opponents up. And in a way, he's trying to control the agenda. He's trying to control the way we play, isn't he? He's a very clever manager, both in terms of the tactical side of the game and the mental side of the game. He's clearly got that. Now, it's up to Barry to put his team out tonight, that with a real clear message of what is expected of them and how to play. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't change a great deal from the first leg. I thought the way that he tactically lined up against them was absolutely spot on. I really do. I think we should be 3 at the back again with wing backs, with a 5-man midfield, pack it, make it hard for them to play, make it difficult for them to play through us. Just make the game as difficult as possible for them, but have Tierney in a free role, have Diomande with the ability to get forward. I think that's the key thing for me. If you give Tierney the freedom to play, he can absolutely destroy teams. We've seen that, and the guy looks a class act in that last game. He really did. So for me, I wouldn't be changing a great deal. I really wouldn't. Jack Butland in goal, obviously. I think there was some saves out in Istanbul that Jack made that were absolutely superb and kept us in the game. It really did. Back three, James Tavernier, I think, starts at right side centre back. John Souttar, who was utterly phenomenal in that first game. John Souttar is the best centre back in Scotland. I will not argue about it because it's damned fact. I do facts. I do absolutes. That is absolutely true. There is no argument. Cart horse Vickers, you are not fit to lick the studs on that man's boots. Balogun, I think, will start in place of Proper. Leon was fabulous. And Big Leon's brilliant. I love Big Leon. And I think you put Big Leon in there, you've got a back three there who understand Rangers Thursday nights, who understand what it is to play in the Europa League, who understand what it is to play at Ibrox, in front of 50,000, who get it for this second leg. So that for me is the right selection. I would go with Ridvan on the left and Dujon on the right. The reason I'm going with Ridvan on the left, I don't know whether Barry will do this, but it's because Ridvan's a bit more sound defensively than Jefte, and we need to make sure we keep it tight. Don't leave the back door open. And also, Ridvan will be up for this. He'll be bang up for this against another Turkish side. So that's why I'm going for it. Dujon on the right, because I feel, if you've got a situation where you have, you've got Ridvan on the right drifting inside, you've got Tierney drifting to the right, drifting inside. It just narrows the pitch down, whereas Dujon will stay right, he'll stay wide, he'll keep that natural width. And I think, he's tough tackling, he can get forward, he can get back, he can drop back in. And, I think you'll see them when we've got to defend, dropping back in as a five, and three centre halves and two full backs, and being that flexible approach to defence that Barry spoke of in his presser. So I think that's a bit better for me. Nicholas Raskin in the holding role, where he's been phenomenal all season. I mean, he was brilliant, wasn't he, away in Istanbul? Metronomic, controlling the tempo, controlling the ball, controlling the midfield. Again, we need him to get his foot on the ball and run that game for us. Dio and Barron ahead of him. Connor Barron was fabulous when he came back into the team on Thursday, and Dio had one of his best games as well. Give Tierney the freedom to roam. Give him the freedom to go and cause them problems, because I'll tell you something, their defenders will be shitting themselves, worrying where he is, worrying about his pace, worrying about his ability to run in behind them. And you've got to go with the hot hand. Dessers is scoring goals at the moment. Stick him in, leave him up top. Yes, I prefer Hamza. Yes, Hamza is a better player than Dessers, but Dessers is the man scoring at the moment. So you can't drop someone who scores goals. That's just a fact of football. So that's my 11. Let me know your 11s in the comments down below. Look, predictions, projections. I hate doing this. I'm going to go for 2-1 Rangers tonight to go through 5-2 on aggregate to face Athletic Bilbao in the next round. Right, let's talk about Sunday. We're not going to get into it in depth. We're not going to talk about the game in particular, or the tactics, or the players, or the teams, or the fact that I fucking hate them. We're going to talk about the ticket allocation. Now, for the first time in a while, there will be Rangers fans at Parkhead. There will be home and away fans in attendance at an Old Firm game. And about time that this happened. It's so much better, isn't it, the atmosphere, when you've got fans from both sides of the city. However, Celtic have made it clear the rules to Rangers fans about travelling to Parkhead. And these rules are a bit ridiculous, in my opinion. Rangers supporters have been warned that they risk missing the kickoff unless they arrive at the Piggery no later than 2 hours before the game. So they've got to be in the ground 2 hours before the game, which is crazy. Very, very crazy. Now, if you kind of take on that, arriving 2 hours before is, for some fans, ridiculous. And the fact that tie is at 12:30, that's 10:30 in the morning, say 10 o'clock in the morning. Arriving for 10 o'clock in the morning on a match day is a bit crazy, especially at a football ground. But that seems to be what Celtic are insisting on for this situation. So there'll be 2,400 fans in the ground from Rangers. They'll be in the southeast corner of the Lisbon Lions stand. And, I think it'd be great to have the fans there, and I'm sure the players will love that. Now, a club statement has been put out in which it said, ahead of the return of away supporters for this Sunday's Old Firm fixture, Rangers have engaged in discussions with Celtic FC and relevant authorities to ensure a safe and organised experience for our travelling supporters. We understand that the arrangements in place will require planning and patience from those attending, and we appreciate the commitment of our supporters in following the guidance provided. Safety advice has been issued for the forthcoming fixture. Rangers supporters with a valid match ticket are asked to arrive at the east side of the Emirates Arena. That's another new name for the piggery. Entering via Springfield Road for 10 o'clock. They will be escorted across London Road to the 6 designated away turnstiles, which will be open from this time. Supporters must arrive no later than 10:30, as those arriving after this kickoff time may face delays and risk missing kickoff. We understand that the early arrival time may be inconvenient for supporters, and we share the frustration this may cause. The club made representations for this to be later. However, we have been advised that this is not possible on safety grounds. By arriving at the designated time, supporters can help ensure a smooth and secure entry process. Supporters arriving after 10:30 should be aware that they may be held at the Emirates Arena until a safe opportunity to escort them across is determined. Police Scotland advise that this could mean that the entry after kickoff. These arrangements have been made and agreed upon with Celtic and Police Scotland, and we fully expect the safety of our supporters to be prioritised. Blah, blah, blah. And it goes on and on. Very long statement. Longest I've ever heard Rangers talk for quite a while. But look, it's a bit ridiculous. I get why it is, but it's a bit ridiculous. You know, hopefully we do the same to them when they come to Ibrox. Right, one last question. Why the bloody hell, when a club are making a statement, do they always have a picture of a corner flag? To me, it's just fucking weird. What are your ideas? Let me know in the comments. Right, guys, thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. As always, guys, on the way out, please smash that sub, comment, share, like, and do all that fabulous stuff for me. And remember always, please never forget, we are the people.